Hello, my name is Greg Starbuck. I'm a licensed therapist here in California, and I pick periodic topics that I've come across over the years as a Christian therapist. And these are just little vignettes, little small uh, kind of snippets, right, covering different topics as a Christian. And they're not meant to be anything other than educational or maybe a little entertaining from time to time. They're not designed for any therapeutic interaction. So if you have the need or a sense that you want to have therapy over a particular area that I might talk about, then you'd want to seek out a professional to do that. These are merely for those of us that enjoy, from a Christian perspective, these topics, and and have a little bit of dialogue about them. And they're not meant to be exhaustive, just a little bit of dialogue. Well, today's topic on things to talk about is depression. Oh my gosh, what a topic, right? Uh, Depression's been around probably as long as Adam and Eve, with their struggles. And we have a lot of examples of depression in the Old Testament and in the New Testament. And if you look into their lives a little bit, some of the prophets, I remember one was put in a cistern, right, laid down there for a long time. He had to be depressed, right? Or someone, like Moses, out there on the desert, or, all these people, when he's bringing all the people out of Israel, out of Egypt, and oh my gosh, all the struggles and battles and hard work, and all these people, really not into what God's doing in their lives, right? Bringing them out of captivity. And in the New Testament, oh my gosh, all those folks, the apostles, all the early, disciples, and those that came to know Christ during the time that no one knew what was going to happen, only that it probably was going to be bad. And so, even when Paul is traveling, right, some of the things that occurred to him, and he even mentions being near death multiple times, and so there had, depression is pretty real, and but there's different types of depression. From a clinical perspective, we have, from my hospital work for years, we have clinical type depression. If you have a heart attack or something, or major surgery, you could have some depression for a while from that. You may have a stroke and struggle with the outcomes of that, and have a, depression for, you have grief and loss depression, something that's been lost, and you have to go through the process of dealing with that. Could be loss of a job, depression from that. Could be some daily depression, that things just didn't go well today. They're just terrible, right? That's another kind of depression. It could be in a relationship, right? For some, that it's just chemistries, right? You have your chemistries that the body's an amazing thing. It produces chemicals to keep us up and to balance us out. And when we're too high up, adrenaline and another chemistry kicks in and drops us down and balances us back out again. For some, the stress level of their job is so intense that they can deplete some of those chemicals that kind of keep you up and moving forward, and kind of having a new shot on the day, so to speak. And when I see folks in my practice, I talk and ask them, if you've seen a physician, when's the last time you had some physical or some lab work done? And there's always a little hesitancy, like, why are you asking me that? But sometimes it's just chemistries. And if you have more of the more intense diagnosis, like bipolar or something, oh my gosh, the up chemistries get so depleted that there's just this intense down that comes with it. So again, this snip is not designed to diagnose you, but only that as Christians we experience these things, and we can take a look at them and kind of get a handle on what's happening there, and then some time frames that it might take to get out, or perhaps you need to see someone specifically for major depression, and to me, if you meet actually the criteria for it, criteria for different types of depression, as any diagnosis. It's sort of like a recipe. You kind of have to have enough of the ingredients to actually meet the threshold of the chocolate cake. So you have to have so many criteria, and they have to be fairly consistent before you can really assign a diagnosis. So we're not going to do that in this, right? But for the Christian, we can go to the Lord, and for many of us, we have had and will from time to time some intense moments of depression, days, weeks, months, and more. And so we sort of need to get a perspective on what that is about. And for those of you that are in ministry, sometimes it can be even worse. If you're in a position of leadership as a Christian, it can get even worse sometimes because Satan doesn't like what you're doing, right? So he's going to come at you pretty hard in your head, maybe, or circumstances or something. But the idea, I suppose, is that Christians have depression from time to time. Now, it doesn't mean we lose our joy. It's just, oh my gosh, this is such a downer for so long. But anyway, a little short snippet there for you on the idea of depression and the Christian, and that it's real. And again, this is just for information and education and a little bit of entertainment. But if you need help in that area, then contact a professional. Thanks, and very nice to talk with you.